Shortly after midnight on July 22, 2015, 12-year-old Daniel Bever called 911, saying his brother was attacking his family. When police arrived at the Bevers' residence in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, they were greeted by a horrific scene. The parents, David and April, as well as 6-year-old Christopher and 4-year-old Victoria, were dead. 12-year-old Daniel, who called 911, was also dead. The cause of the death for all victims were the same: stab wounds. Another sister, 13-year-old Crystal Bever, identified her two older brothers, 18-year-old Robert and 16-year-old Michael, as the perpetrators. Both boys were immediately arrested and taken in for questioning. Michael Bever's interrogation provides one of the most horrific case studies of a cold-blooded mass murderer.
You still read some stuff to you. It makes it legal for us to talk to you, okay?
So like I told you when I met you at the jail, my name's Eric. I'm a detective here with Broken Arrow Police. Like she told you from Andrea, she's a detective also. We just want to spend some time, maybe talk and discuss some things, and maybe ask you some questions, let you ask us some questions, and make sure we're all comfortable with what's going on, and then we'll go from there. That sounds good? Okay, so you've probably heard or seen this on TV before, but it's your notification rights, it's your Miranda rights. And so I'm going to read them to you, but I want to sit here where you can see the paper, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 1 through 5 right here. And so I'll read them, and you kind of can look at it with me. I want to make sure you understand all these. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to answer any questions or make any statement. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before we ask you any questions, and you have the right to have a lawyer with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one, the court will appoint one for you before you are asked any questions. It's hard to read it sideways. If you want to answer questions now without a lawyer being present, you may do so. You have the right to stop answering questions at any time. So you understand what those are saying? Basically, if you want an attorney, just tell me. If you don't like any of the questions I ask, just tell me to stop. If you get uncomfortable, we'll stop whenever you want. Kind of, you're in control. Does that sound good? Okay.
By this point, the detective knows full well that Michael just killed his family, including his 4-year-old sister. Despite this, he talks very politely, even going so far as to tell Michael he is in control. While most people would not act so kindly towards someone who has just committed such a heinous crime, the detective is trained to keep his cool in such situations. By being amicable, he makes Michael feel more comfortable, sharing his motivations, which will be used against him in court.
Well, man, I'm just kind of got thrown into this, so I was hoping maybe you could kind of just go back at the beginning when all this started and kind of tell me what happened, because I need kind of the details so we know and understand what you went through and stuff.
Okay, so at the very start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about 2 months ago.
Okay.
Is when we first really started talking.
So when you say we, who are you talking about?
Me and my other brother is also.
Your brother?
Yeah, who's he has to do with me.
And what's his name?
Robert Bever.
Robert? Okay. And how old is he?
18.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
A couple months ago, I think it got to the start of this year, we started talking about voodoo and rampage and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I didn't take it seriously at first, but then he started buying like a body armor and stuff.
Where did he buy body armor from?
eBay and Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, legal.
Does he have a job?
He did at Mike Tech. He quit at the start of the year. And basically, it just kept escalating. He kept getting ruined, and he asked if I wanted any, and I said yes, so he got me my own set.
Okay.
And then about a month, about like June 30th, is when he came to me and said he found out that he can legally buy guns without permit in Oklahoma, that he could.
Okay.
And that's when he started planning. And
now you said he bought body armor, but you kind of said like a bunch of stuff. Did he buy? What else did he buy besides body armor?
Besides body armor, knives, and he was in the middle of buying guns and ammunition.
I see. Okay. Where did he buy the knives from?
eBay too.
Okay.
eBay.
Can you tell me, like, how many knives or what they look like or anything like that?
I think he had about 3 normal knives and then 1 small kit in packs.
Okay. And then the guns. Where did he start buying guns from?
He bought them online. I think the website's like Bud's Gun Shop, and he bought 2 Glocks, 2 Glock 41s, and a shotgun. I forget, it's like a Moss boot, I think.
Oh, okay.
Bought the Glock stuff with a website called Bud's Gun Shop, I think.
Okay.
And he bought the Moss boot off of the official website, and then had them shipped to like the Okinawa gun club. So they're actually I've got now waiting for him.
So they were shipped
To a gun shop.
here in Broken Arrow?
Yep.
Okay.
And through
Where is that gun shop, do you know?
he said 7 miles away. He was planning on biking up.
Okay.
It's like and I think it's next to Gip Mall. It's like the Okinawa gun shop
Okay.
or something. And then he bought, I think it was like 250 shotgun rounds
Okay.
on eBay. Not eBay, but some
On
website.
some
And
website.
then I think he bought close to 1,000 rounds for the Glocks.
Wow. Okay.
And
But
he's
he's
supposed to
still.
get out today.
Oh, so he was supposed to have to pick those up.
Yeah, he was supposed to come up today.
And where was he supposed to pick those?
The ammunition, it was being shipped to the house. The guns were the Okinawa gun shop.
Okay. Do you know what his eBay user was? No.
No.
Okay. I just didn't know if you'd ever been on eBay and shopped or anything.
But I used to a long time ago, and novelty stuff.
Right.
Michael calmly and methodically explains how he and his brother had been planning the attack for the past 2 months, with his brother burying body armour, knives and guns. Importantly, the plan was originally his older brother Robert's idea, and he only agreed to participate at Robert's request.
And so he was buying weapons because you guys had talked about murdering.
Yeah, and he started planning it.
Okay.
And I went along with it because I didn't see the way I thought I would want to do it. I very quickly learned tonight that I didn't.
Okay. That you didn't want to do it?
I don't want to do it. I didn't, just because I didn't kill anyone.
Okay.
I stabbed someone.
Who did you stab?
My younger brother, Christopher.
Christopher. How old's Christopher?
9, I think.
What did you stab him with?
My knife.
What's your knife look like?
It's green, kind of like camouflage, honestly.
On where your hand goes or where the blade is? It's camouflage?
Yeah, it's all camouflage.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
How big is it? Show me how big it is.
I think it's about this big.
Okay.
Handleable.
So what was Christopher doing when you stabbed him?
He was laying on the bathroom floor. Robert was also stabbing him. Robert asked me to go over and help him. So I stabbed Christopher and then
Where did you stab him?
stabbed the neck.
Really?
Despite having agreed to the plan beforehand, Michael claims to have experienced last-minute reservations, stating that on the day of the murders he didn't want to do it. He then makes the peculiar assertion that he did not kill anyone, only to immediately admit to stabbing his younger brother Christopher in the side of the neck. He seems to think that because both he and Robert stabbed their younger brother together, he could pin the blame on Robert and avoid facing legal consequences. He seems oblivious to the fact that multiple people can be charged with the murder of one victim. Despite being caught literally red-handed, Michael tries to craft legal defense, albeit not a very good one. This demonstrates a level of cognition and awareness that contradicts the subsequent insanity defense pursued by his attorneys.
You okay?
Yeah.
You okay? Let me know if you need a break or anything, okay? So, was Christopher still alive when you stabbed him?
Yes.
What was he saying and doing?
He was just screaming.
Screaming. Did you say he was in the bathroom?
Yeah, I was next to the toilet with that bathroom.
Who else was in the bathroom?
I think Victoria might have been in there. About
Victoria?
Yeah, my 4-year-old sister.
4-year-old, okay. I want to talk about that more, but we got to try to kind of stay like chronologically, if you know what I mean. So let's go back real quick. We talked about the ammunition being delivered. making plans. Tell me more about making plans and what you guys talked about.
Making plans, we plotted every night, and I started realizing we were actually going to do this on the second night, and so I started getting ready.
When was that? You second night? What do you mean?
July 1st,
Okay.
because we started June 30th.
That's when you started making the plan?
Yeah, that's when we found out you could buy guns legally.
I see. Did you guys make drawings or write things down? Or
I think he had a journal. Basically, I think he's under his gun. I think it's under his bed.
under his
Might
bed?
have checked that.
Is it like a
like-
a journal, like a notepad, or like a book?
It's like a blank book.
Okay.
A black book. I think it's like a little case or
So
something.
you think he wrote stuff in there?
Yeah, I think he was planning it.
So then the second day you said that's when you realized that it might actually happen.
Yeah.
What made you realize that?
How serious he was. I mean, he was going through. He started planning on taking all of his money out of his bank and throwing away all his stuff. So
Why did he want to do it?
to kill people.
Yeah.
Well, it's mainly two reasons. I think it's because he just he says he hates everyone. He thinks society is pointless, and so he wanted to kill people.
Now, do
And
you-
also he wanted to beat the kill amount of other famous people like Columbine and James Deacon Holmes.
Okay. Did you kind of feel that way too? Like when you guys were talking earlier,
Yeah.
do you have a problem with society too, you think?
No, I just.
Or you were just more like the number of people getting killed was kind of interesting and exciting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we witness the chilling manifestation of Michael's depravity. His actions were not fueled by animosity towards his family or society as a whole. Rather, he was captivated by past acts of mass violence, specifically the Columbine school shooting. Michael viewed the horrific event through the distorted lens of a video game, fixated on maximizing his kill count.
So, because you mentioned a couple names are those like serial killers or something?
What, like Columbine?
Yeah.
Columbine and James Deacon Holmes. James Deacon Holmes is a guy that shot at the theater.
In Colorado?
Yeah, he killed 12 and
Wow. How many were killed in Columbine?
Columbine, I don't know, 15, I
Okay.
think.
So did you guys have a goal? Did you have a number?
He just wanted, I think he wanted to kill 50.
Okay.
I have a goal.
Once again, we observe Michael's attempts to shift blame onto his older brother, Robert, claiming Robert had a goal of killing 50 people. However, Michael's remarkable ability to recall the precise number of victims in infamous mass shootings, such as Columbine and Aurora, suggests that he shared the same obsession. This revelation implies Michael's deep involvement in both the motivation behind and the planning of their crime, and undermines his claim of playing only a passive role.
So was the plan to use the knives at first on the
Yeah.
family?
He was nice.
Because the guns weren't going to be here till later on?
Yeah, and the guns would be too loud.
Oh, I see.
So, going to use the knives on the family, which obviously did not go as planned.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
I just sort of the red swords right now. We didn't hook more people. I didn't kill them.
Yeah. So then you picked a date, you said.
Yeah, which was yesterday night. That was the date.
Did you pick a time and everything?
Yep, yeah, midnight when most everyone was in bed except for Mom.
So how did you guys know? He just came and got you, or you got him, or what did you guys do?
We were hanging out, that's good waiting.
Okay. And so
How did you pick the date?
They were holding on with packages and stuff that we have. Because, all the ammunition, he didn't want them to see that. So we killed him the day before the ammunition would get out, the day after we would leave.
do you guys not like your mom and dad? I mean, most teenagers don't like their parents, so I can understand that.
Yeah, Mom was okay, but Dad was a little bit,
Just a little bit too much.
yes.
So you guys waiting in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and was it right when midnight, and that's when things started?
Right at midnight, my sister She came in, because she was getting to go to bed, she came in to tell us.
How old is
13.
Okay.
She came in to tell us that Mom wanted us to get the kitchen done before we went to bed and put the cats up. And basically, we did what we planned. I got to my desk, and I had to look at something to this guy to roll up. We went up behind her, grabbed her, and slipped with you.
Really? What did he use?
His large red knife.
Okay. A large red knife?
Yeah, it's like mine.
How big is it?
It's like mine, only right. It's about
Oh, I see.
that big. And then she fell to the ground screaming. Mom and Dad, Mom came in first, and then
Is your room upstairs or side? I don't know. I haven't been in the house, so I don't know.
Her room is downstairs. It's towards the back of the
Okay.
house.
And so she fell down and started screaming.
Yeah, whatever. Kept stabbing her. I kind of freaked out because,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't planning on
Were you
this.
saying anything, or, I mean...
I just stood there.
Okay.
And then Mom came in yelling, called the police. And then he went over and stabbed her.
Then he stabbed her?
Yeah, he probably stabbing her, pushed her, flipped down the hallway, and got up and ran.
Okay.
She ran out the door.
Okay, so she sat down at your desk, and he slit her throat, you said?
Well, she was standing at my desk and
Oh, I
came up
see.
behind and slit her with the other, and she fell down screaming.
And then he stabbed her some more? When he was stabbing her some more, where was he stabbing her?
Her neck.
Oh, at her
Her
neck.
neck and stomach.
Stomach. Okay.
And then my mom came in and she started yelling, called the police, get Dad. And then he came over and started attacking her. They actually got up and ran out the front door.
Wow.
And once Mom was on the ground, he got up and started chasing after her.
And what were you doing?
Standing
Did you come out in the hallway?
No, I was just standing in my room. In the process, I don't know what I was doing.
So he stabbed your mom with the same knife?
Yep, something.
And where did he stab her?
I think in the neck too.
Okay.
And no, actually, he stabbed her in the neck, pushed her into the kitchen, and then together. Slit with her. She started screaming and ran into the family room. At the same time, he probably left the house.
Okay.
I went over and disabled the alarm.
Okay.
That's what I did. And then he
Where's
ran.
the pad for your alarm?
It's not the front door.
It's what?
It's now the front door.
Near the front door?
Yeah, and so I went over and disabled the alarm so it wouldn't,
But has she already gone outside?
She went outside and the robber went after her.
So where did she...
She was laying in the driveway and he to go her back the bench, if you don't know, and started choking her.
on the bench out front?
Yeah, it was like a little bench, and he threw the bench on her and went back inside to go after the little kids.
Did he bring her in, or did she stay out there?
She stayed out there until he asked me to be in her, and I ran out. I had to go her inside. That's why she's in the NCOA. I had to go her inside.
Oh, you brought her back in.
Yeah,
Was she still alive?
Yeah, she was still screaming. And then that's about the time Dad came down.
Okay.
Because his bedroom's upstairs. And he went back in the boys' area where Robert was. The boys' area, that's what they call it, a room. And they started attacking Dad. They got a little bit of a fight. But then eventually Robert got him down and I think he killed him.
Did he cut his throat too? Where did that happen?
In our room.
In your room?
Yeah.
And where were you?
I was standing in the hallway.
Okay. So did you see him cut your dad's throat?
Yeah.
Did he stab him other places too?
I don't know, I think he just went for the throat.
And where was she? Was in the entryway?
Yeah, I think she was in the entryway at that time. And then he went in and Daniel was in his room, which is down the hall. And I was like,
how old's Daniel?
I think he's 12.
Okay.
And I was like, let me in, and he let me in. He was sitting on the phone with the police. I grabbed the phone, which is my phone. He got my phone. And then I ran into the kitchen and I smashed the underground.
Which was your phone?
Yeah, it was my phone.
Ugh. I don't have a cell phone anymore.
Here we get to the part when 12-year-old Daniel Bever was calling the police. Daniel was in a locked room using Michael's phone. At this point, Daniel had only seen Robert stabbing his family members and didn't know Michael was involved. Michael took advantage of Daniel's ignorance. He pretended to be a victim, running away from Robert's homicidal rampage. In this way, he manipulated Daniel into opening the door. He proceeded to end the 911 call short by destroying the phone. The fact that Michael engaged in such an elaborate deception again disproves his earlier claim that he was a passive tag-along. It's also worth noting how nonchalant the detective remains, talking about how Michael doesn't have a cell phone anymore. Obviously, not having a working cell phone is the least of Michael's concerns. By making this comment, the detective is skillfully downplaying the severity of Michael's situation, making him feel more comfortable and encouraging him to incriminate himself.
And Dale went back down, and and Daniel and Christopher locked himself in the bathroom, Daniel locked himself in Dad's office.
Okay.
And then I finally got both of them to open the door, because they thought I wanted in there.
But they were in different rooms?
Yeah, the guy has 2 children. Right?
Oh, I see.
And then Robert went in and stabbed him, and they went in and stabbed Christopher. That's when I stabbed Christopher.
So when he stabbed Daniel, where did he stab Daniel?
I think he shanked him in the neck, and then Daniel ran off, and so I went in and started attacking Christopher.
So Daniel got stabbed in the neck and ran off?
Yeah.
Where did you run to?
He ran into the family room about Mom. Mom ended up, she was lying on the ground yelling, call 911.
Okay. And he stopped in there?
Yeah, he collapsed in there, and then Robert came in and started stabbing him in the chest.
Oh, I see. And then who's the youngest, the 4-year-old?
The 4-year-old, I don't know what happened with her. I hope she's alive, right?
I'm sorry, maybe I messed up. The one that you stabbed, who was that?
Christopher.
Christopher, that's
He's
what I'm
8-year-old, I think.
He's 8.
10.
And he was in the bathroom.
Yep.
So Daniel had got stabbed in the neck, ran out to where your mom was.
Yeah.
Robert followed him, stabbed him some more.
Yeah, after we stabbed Christopher in the bathroom.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then basically after that, Venom was pretty much dead. We forgot about all.
Who was dead?
Everyone, I think,
Okay.
looked like they were dead, except for she was lying in the he was screaming. Then there was a knock at the door.
Okay.
Someone knocked at the door. I think that might be the neighbor, because the police wouldn't have been there yet. And then they just kept knocking on the door. So we turned around. I grabbed on, put my soft vest and heavy vest on. I was carrying the plates. I put my helmet on. And then we went up the back door of Daryl's office, climbed over the fence, went down into the park, and started cutting through the woods.
Okay.
We both collapsed. When we started we were just sitting there, and they found us.
That's how you got kind of dirty and stuff, dirt on you. So you guys collapsed. Were you just kind of hiding out?
Yeah, we were just laying in a little ditch thing in the woods, and then we saw the light, and we lay down, and the dog came over.
Did you hear the dog coming?
Mm-hmm. I heard them coming. I saw them coming, and then they started yelling, and put your hands up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I stepped on my head and handcuffed me.
Okay.
Can you okay, I'm a little bit lost, I think, because there's too many people in this house. There's you, there's Robert.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 16, he's 18. Then who's next?
Yeah, she's the third oldest. She was the first one.
Okay. And then Daniel,
And then Christopher.
then Christopher,
And then Victoria.
Victoria.
And then-
She's 4.
Yeah, Victoria's one.
Okay, and what's Mom's name?
April.
April?
April Beverham, unmarried maiden name, I think you call it. It's Sharp.
Sharp?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And Victoria's 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's Dad's name?
David.
David? Okay.
David.
And then, are there any other kids? How many kids is that? That's...
Then there was, she's a baby, she's about to turn 2 toddler. She was up in her bed. I
Okay.
think he forgot about her. And I think she stayed asleep until the police came. And I saw them get her out, so she's okay.
So you saw them carrying her out?
Yeah, I was in the car.
Was that the plan, was to kill her too, though?
We just want to keep that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when y'all got done at the house, where were you going to go?
We were going to hang out there for at least the day. We were going to get the bodies in a room or something, maybe the attic. Clean up and then wait for the ammunition, go pick up the guns, and then we'll leave the next day.
Where were you going to go? I mean, where was going to be your mass plan to get the most bang for your buck?
We were just heading generally towards Washington State. We were going to do it statewide.
Did you guys have, like, were you gonna go, I mean, who else were you gonna kill? Just whoever you ran into?
Yeah, pretty much. He said 5 at a time, like gas stations, restaurants.
Okay, and then just keep going.
Yep.
Did he have some money saved up or something?
Yeah, he had about 480 after buying all the ongoing weapons. Plus,
You still have that?
Yeah, plus 100 I had.
Oh, okay. So we talked a lot about your plans in the beginning, because here's what I don't understand is, as you and Robert are kind of planning things out, I mean, because you seem like a really smart kid, and that you kind of, I mean, it seems like you had some pretty detailed plans. You guys had good equipment and weapons, and it seems to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I would think that as you guys plan this out, you had maybe more specific plans, like Robert was going to kill this person, and you were going to kill. So who were you supposed to kill?
I was supposed to take my pistol crossbow. Who was supposed to shank his soul. She was supposed to die quietly. Yeah, she was going to be the first one, she was. And then Robert would go in, slit Mom's throat, push her over with him. We both go in and crawl and get to her.
Because it was supposed to be like quiet. Right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like that. And then I would go upstairs and shoot David, Dad, and the guy with my pistol crossbow would kill him. And then Robert would go over and kill him.
Okay.
So did you use your crossbow at all?
No. The only time I ever hurt anybody was when I stabbed Christopher in the neck.
Did Robert use your crossbow?
No, it's just saying all the time.
Where is your crossbow?
I think it's on my bed still, unless they collected it.
So did you have it out ready to go, and then it just kind of didn't go as planned?
Yeah, no, nothing was planned.
Yeah. I think we talked about it, but did Robert, you said he had a knife that was just like yours, but it was red.
Yep.
Did he ever use another knife on anybody else or anything?
I don't think he did. I mean, he had another small surgical blade knife.
Yeah.
It's not like 4 inches. He said he was going to use it, but
Where was that?
in his pocket. He had 3 knives. A large, about 15-inch black one.
Like a machete kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of like a cave-on knife.
Okay.
And
Where was that, the big one?
It was standing on his belt.
Okay.
And the one he used, the 12-inch blade one. And then the small surgical blade.
Okay.
Which he had in his pocket.
So, who all died? Who do you know died for sure? Like, what's the count? How do we know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Who do you think died?
Dad, Mom, Daniel. That's not all I know because I saw them.
And Daniel's the one that you stabbed?
No, Chris was one I stabbed. Daniel's the one he went in and stabbed him in the lungs.
Here we see another of Michael's pathetic attempts to divert blame away from himself. He says he only thinks his dad, Mom, and Daniel died, and he said Robert was the one who stabbed all 3 of them. He is trying to avoid labelling himself as a murderer, but he earlier admitted to stabbing Christopher in the neck, which was obviously a fatal blow.
And he was in the living room
with Mom.
And Christopher, you stabbed him in the neck.
Yeah, he was in the bath,
So was he still making noise when you left, or how did that go?
Yeah, he was still yelling when I left. I don't know if I killed him. I think he might have been alive, because later I came back and the door was shut and locked. I tried to kick it down.
Okay.
Just one of those holes in that door now.
So...
you kicked it down?
I didn't kick it down.
Okay. Who did?
I tried to. Nobody kicked it down.
Oh.
It stayed intact. I don't know what's in there, if he's still alive.
Did you, because here's what I'm seeing happen. You guys had all these detailed plans. You had all the cool stuff to make it happen.
Yeah.
And it kind of started falling apart. And he said, like, it didn't go as planned. Did you kind of just freak out a little bit? Like, was this really happening?
Well, I didn't know it was going to be
Yeah, you don't. But here's what's getting me is, like, it's crazy because you guys worked together and made all these plans and, had it all figured out. And then when it happens, You're just kind of standing there not doing anything. And did you decide, like, Robert's going to kill everybody and I'm going to stand here and do nothing, so I better... I mean, did you...
I think that was my plan. I didn't want to kill anyone or hurt anyone. I couldn't do it, so I just wanted to let him, like, kill everyone.
Yeah, but you stabbed somebody in the neck.
No,
I mean...
I just kind of...
Well, what I'm saying is it's not Robert's the one that should get all the credit here. Because it's a big deal. I mean, you're going to be on the news. You know what I mean?
Notice the detective's use of the word credit instead of blame. From Michael's previous references to Columbine and the Aurora massacre, it is clear that notoriety was a major motivation. By saying Robert shouldn't get all of the credit, he is baiting Michael to admit to a more active role.
People are going to want to interview you.
I don't mind being interviewed when I'm moving this.
Well, but I'm just thinking...
He does.
Because you had said you had the plans, like, you're supposed to kill this person,
Yep.
He's supposed to kill this person. Were you supposed to kill Christopher? Was he your responsibility?
No,
It just worked out that way?
Christopher and Daniel was supposed to be his responsibility. I was only supposed to kill Dad and Victoria, hold with Victoria.
But he had already basically done that.
Yeah.
So now you're left standing there. So were you trying to kill Christopher when you stabbed him in the neck? Were you just gonna...
I purposely missed the middle of the neck. I think I might have even hit him in the shoulder. I certainly didn't do it hard, but I don't know.
So, originally, your responsibility was Victoria
And Dad.
and Dad.
Yep, that's what I was supposed to take care of.
Did you guys talk specifically? Because you said the crossbow, so you said... I mean, you guys had it planned, like, this is specifically how we're going to do it.
Yeah, it was very specific, unfortunately, you know. I think he got his plan to move or something. It doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be a lot quicker and quieter, I guess. I mean... Did you... So had your cell phone, is that right?
Daniel had my cell phone.
Daniel.
They got my cell phone and called the police.
So when... So here's a problem that we might have, and I don't want it to be an issue for you because you've been really cooperative. We're going to talk to Robert too. So he's going to give us his version of the story, and sometimes they're going to be different. So is there anything that you kind of didn't quite tell me right, or you changed a little bit? And now that you understand that Robert's going to tell me everything.
Hopefully I tell you that I forgave them, because that's what I told him, when we were sitting out in the woods, to make conversation. But, forensics will show you how they stabbed Christopher.
What 3?
What do you mean you told him? So you told him you killed 3 people?
Yeah, I told him, because he asked me how many did you get. I said 3.
Did you tell him who you got?
No, I just said 3.
If Michael only stabbed one person and didn't think it even resulted in a death, why would he have told Robert he killed 3 people? It's possible he wanted to impress Robert, but given that Robert was there and saw everything, this doesn't make any sense.
So I guess this is my question for you. Do you think it's a lesser sentence if you killed 1 or if you killed 3?
No.
I don't know. I think Robert, he may have, there's going to be a lot of differences. That's what I'm concerned about. And we don't want you to come off as a liar. Because you've been real cooperative. You seem like a really good kid. You graduated high school early. You're designing games. there's all kinds of stuff you got going on. And so I don't want people to get a bad opinion of you and think that you're the type of guy that lies to police when he's kind of caught. You know what I mean? So tell me, I know that you're leaving something out. Because it's like she said, this isn't like you stole a bicycle. This is the most you can do. So it's a big deal. But a lot of people, when they talk and think about this thing, your honesty is a big deal, and how you handle yourself from here on out. And if you come off, because to me you don't seem like a bad guy. Like you don't scare me. I never thought you would have done this. So you just seem like a normal kid to me, and you seem like an honest kid. But see, I talk to people all the time, and I know when people are lying, or when I'm not quite getting the whole story. And so I just want to catch you before you get in that bad spot where people start saying you're a bad guy, you're evil, you're a liar. So just tell me what I'm missing.
Along with the do thing, I was going on to convincing the people who were still alive that I was on their side. I called the police, so they would stay and we could get them.
So they kind of stay on the ground, and he'd be able to come stab him again.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to go get Robert to let him know someone was still making too much noise or anything?
No, it was chaotic. He was just going from person to person.
So what kind of things did you say to them?
But the only things I said to them was when I was trying to convince them that I was with them, so they would, come to me and could kill them.
Okay. And that's all you think that he might tell me different? Is he going to lie to me?
I don't know. I don't think he would lie, because I'm pretty sure the only reason he's he let himself get arrested and it's not like getting a major shootout and dying from the police is because he wanted to see the aftermath. So I don't know his responsibility.
Oh, I see. So you think he may kind of just tell us what happened too?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys talk about being on the news and getting to see each other on TV and stuff?
Yeah.
What kind of things did you say and talk about?
Mostly about how we were planning on killing more people.
Yeah.
Talk. And we would become famous. We would get on Wikipedia lists.
Oh, okay.
People.
That'd be a big deal, yeah. Do you think they might even make a movie or something, or a TV show?
I don't know about a movie or TV show, but...
Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, definitely documentaries and stuff. He just wanted to be famous.
What did you want?
Me?
Mm-hmm. You keep talking about what he wanted. What did you want?
No, I just wanted to get my lawyer's program. Get a job.
But your big brother's telling me he wants to be famous, and you guys are making these plans. Surely you want some of that fame too, right?
Yeah, I do want to do it with him, because he's going to do it no matter what. He says if I don't do it with him, they'll just kill me too, or leave me there. So
This claim that Robert coerced him into participating would have been a lot more believable if he didn't wait 45 minutes to disclose this to the detectives. Also, the two of them were planning the attack for 2 months, giving Michael ample time to contact the police. He claims Robert was writing notes about his plan to kill the family. This, along with the guns and knives he was ordering, would have been more than enough evidence to arrest Robert, rendering him no longer a threat.
Yeah.
So y'all have been planning this since 30th of June, you said?
Yeah.
That's the first time y'all talked about it?
well, not the first time we talked about Blue Running. He bought us a light vest. He always said he would come out and kill. I didn't think he'd ever do it.
Yeah.
You need anything? We're going to step out for just a second. Crap.
was right. The guys that are interviewing Robert kind of gave me a quick version of what he's saying that you did.
Yeah.
And you haven't told me everything, okay? So I know you're not being completely honest, and I gave you one shot already.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you might said. I mean,
Well, you stabbed more than one person. So who else did you stab?
who said,
Or you stabbed more than just one time?
oh, I stabbed Christopher more than one time.
How many times did you stab him?
I think twice.
Because you don't think we're going to know that?
Stop
I
thinking
know.
and go with what you know.
You mentioned forensics a minute ago.
I know.
I mean, I'm just one of like hundreds of people that are going to look at this thing, okay? I mean, we got the state police coming in. There's, I don't know, 20 different forensic detectives at your house right now.
They're going to be there a long time because of the scene that it is.
So everybody that you killed and every single stab wound that you inflicted, we're going to know about. And this is your last chance to just kind of let us know, to be honest, to man up and tell us exactly what you did and start making it right.
I hit Christopher. I not stabbed Victoria with Daniel.
You did not stab Victoria.
I tried to stab her.
You stabbed him off.
When she was walking away, I tried to go for her neck, but,
Is that when you cut yourself then?
I think after that.
Where did you stab her?
I tried to go from behind it, go back.
Did you cut her?
I think so, yeah.
It doesn't seem like something you have to think about. I know you're still kind of dealing with it. And I wasn't there, I wasn't the one doing it, but you don't have to think about it. You know what you did. So you cut her neck, you stabbed Christopher in the neck. How many times did you stab Christopher?
2 or 3, I think.
And who else did you stab?
Besides Mom.
Because here's the thing, everybody's been stabbed, and you both had knives, and we know you both stabbed everybody. So you guys are kind of at the same level, and so now it's who's going to be honest and make this right, and who's a liar, okay? Which one do you want to
I'm
be?
not.
Okay, so you're a man of your word?
Yes.
Okay. And do you want to make this right and do the right thing at this point in time?
Yes.
Okay.
It's remarkable how quickly Michael breaks under pressure. Up until this point, the detective has been cordial and never criticised Michael's action. But he also stressed that his reputation would be ruined if he was exposed as a liar. Despite his feeble attempts to deflect blame, Michael likely knows that his life as a free man is over. At this point, the only thing he can save is his integrity. The detective is playing on Michael's desire to be a notorious, cold-blooded killer. If he's not willing to man up and take responsibility for his actions, his persona as a hardened criminal would be ruined. At this point, it's just Robert's word against his. Had he more mental fortitude, he would have continued with his story that he was an unwilling participant in Robert's master plan. With Michael having confessed to the crime, his attorneys attempted an insanity defense, but they ultimately abandoned this strategy. In 2018, Michael Bever was found guilty on 5 counts of homicide in the first degree. He is currently serving 5 consecutive life sentences.